With a 20-year reputation for clean business, Matt Glynn at Code Property Group is the first choice for real estate on the Sunshine Coast and surrounding areas. I've known Matt for a very long time from a personal level and professional level, and he is an excellent real estate agent. He's professional, he holds a high level of integrity, he presents incredibly well, and has a huge amount of knowledge when it comes to the real estate industry. So if you are in the market to buy, sell, or simply get a valuation and find out more about your current property, then give Matt a call on 0404 315 066 or matt.glynn, GLYNN, at codepg.com. You won't be disappointed. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Paul's Body Engineering Podcast. We're recording on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I have my lovely wife with me as well. Monique, how you going?
Yo, what's up?
That's so gangster. Or not. Far from it, in
I'm
fact.
as white as snow. That ain't gangster.
Yeah, gangster. Oh dear. How you enjoying your weekend? Good?
Yeah, good, babe.
Excellent. We chatted, I don't even know when it was, last couple of days maybe, about a certain topic that had come to hand in a conversation with a potential client, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to have, or just further the conversation, because we were actually talking, and it could have been a great episode there and then, but nonetheless, there was no microphones available. So, and that was about how people have this obsession with trying to meet the 1,200 calorie threshold. It seems to be a numerical sort of thing, because people have an obsession with that. They have an obsession with you have to get 10,000 steps a day, and you could even relate it to being at a certain weight on the scales as well. But the 1,200 thing, what's your take on that, Monique? Because it stems back to a lot of different things. So I suppose it depends on your generation as well. Where are you at with it? I have no question here, by the way.
As you know, I like to know why we do things. I like
Yep.
to know where things come from. Do you know when the 1,200 calorie as a rule started?
It was probably the Michelle Bridges 12-week challenge or something.
Go back further than that.
Oh, really? No, I don't know. Oh, no, I don't know.
What if I told you it started in 1918?
Oh, well, then that's a little bit further back than the 12-week challenge. I was never going to guess that.
It started, and thanks ChatGTP for helping me with this. I'm not this intelligent.
Shout out.
1918, a doctor by the name of Dr. Lulu Hunt Peters, American doctor, and
Lulu.
writer, published her book, and it was called Diet and Health with the Key to the Calories. And she essentially, obviously for whatever reason, decided and suggested that women should stick to a 1,200 calories per day recommendation. She came to this conclusion loosely based on her own experience, but also let's just remember that things were very different in 1918.
Yeah.
Very, very
It was
different.
very different. There was no ultra-processed food. There was no social media. There was no gyms per se. I don't even know if there was a gym back then. That's a long time ago.
And also another thing to recognise too is in 1918, a female doctor who then wrote a book.
Yeah.
So that in itself was massive. And of course, the book became a bestseller because female doctor, 1918, very uncommon. And then because it became a bestseller, it just became the way. From then, so it stayed top of the charts for 10 years, making it,
Really?
making her advice, people just followed it because it's what it was. So if her book stayed top of the charts for 10 years, then it became that's what you do.
Yeah.
Fast forward through, we had a whole lot of things happen, like World War One, when we had all the people struggled to even get food, and we had the Great Depression. We had so much stuff in history that then 1,200 calories, for sometimes some people might have actually been a stretch even.
Yeah.
But one funny little thing, I actually asked Chat for some quotes from her book.
Oh, really?
Just to put it into perspective about what this book actually was.
That's interesting.
So She started out by saying, hereafter you are going to eat calories of food. Instead of saying 1 slice of bread or a piece of pie, you will say 100 calories of bread or 350 calories of pie. So, okay, sure,
Yeah,
whatever.
makes sense.
And then she goes on to say, how anyone can want to be anything but thin is beyond my intelligence. She also said, first, thin people are usually more attractive than fat people and use up their food. Food and food only make thee fat.
Make thee fat.
And her final one, we'll end on this. You will be tempted quite frequently and you will have to choose whether you will enjoy yourself hugely in the 20 minutes or so that you will be consuming the excess calories, or whether you will dislike yourself for the 2 or 3 days you lose by your lack of willpower.
Lack of willpower. Hey, she's nailed that bit. That's still very relevant.
You will dislike yourself.
You will dislike us.
We just had a beautiful lunch and now I ate more than I should have eaten, so now I'm going to dislike myself for 2 or 3 days.
Because you are the fat.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
And then it just purely was because of the time her book sat top of the charts and then women just followed the advice.
Yeah, of course. Well, there was no other reference probably back then. Like, that was it.
It was it. And calories was this new and emerging thing. Oh, we get something to count. We get something to track.
Yeah.
Let's follow that. And it was also a very different time where women were expected to be petite and be of a certain way and standard. So if Mrs. Jones from 2 doors down is looking fantastic in her knee-length skirt and pantyhose, what is she doing? Oh, she's on the 1,200 calorie diet. Oh, well, I must as well. I must.
Oh, dear.
And that's where we ended up in 2025. Now still discussing this.
Yeah, Mrs. Jones down the road. Doesn't look the same, but anyway. Yeah, 1,200 calories. I don't know. It's I don't get it. I understand the reference, but that's, what did you say, 1918? So we're talking nearly 100 years ago.
Correct.
You know,
Over 100 years ago.
Why are we still fixating on this number? Why does this have to be the be all and end all, the make or break, the threshold that you sit on this and you lose weight or not? I don't understand. You know, we've come so far with so much research and so much information, and we're still focused on this number.
I think because 1,200 calories is a nice round number. So we couldn't say 1,000 because if you said 1,000 calories, then everyone would be like, oh, that is really low.
1,200 is just above it.
1,200 is just a touch. It's an afternoon snack above it. And it's just stuck. And I understand people these
400 meals.
These days, when you're feeling desperate and when you're like, I need to do something now, what do you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have an extensive nutritional literacy. They don't have an extensive understanding. If you start Googling how to lose weight fast, what's going to come up?
Let's do it now. Ask ChatGTP, what is the suggested or recommended average calorie intake for, I don't know, put a demographic in.
I've already done that.
What does it say?
Between 1,600 and 2,100.
There you go. Okay.
So, because this book was written by a female and the 1,200 calorie diet typically is a female thing, I don't know too many men, and you may have different experiences, who go, oh, I need to lose weight, I'm going to do 1,200 calories. No. I think men are a little bit more, they don't have that desperation on this numbers and things like this that women tend to. But let's put it in simple terms. 1,200 calories a day is a small child's intake. Yeah. And the only person that should be on 1,200 calories a day is potentially a physique athlete who is 5'2" in the depths of their prep.
Or a jockey.
Yeah. Like 1,200 calories. And for most women, you know, we want nice hair, we want nice skin, we want nice nails. And I'll tell you now, if you're on 1,200 calories for an extended period of time, you can forget that. Yeah, well, let's talk about that, because that's obviously kind of where this conversation came from. You know, for the majority of those that inquire with us, they're in the demographic of sort of, let's say, late 20s into early 50s as a broad age bracket, majority of women. And they're trying to lose weight or improve their physique, change their composition, you know, get stronger. They know the health complications that are coming, perimenopausal, menopausal, etc., etc. So by sitting on 1,200 calories with a lot of those potential
lifestyle changes coming, it's going to be more detrimental than good.
Absolutely.
Right? It's almost counterproductive. You're not helping, you're hindering.
You're not helping at all, because what you're first going to notice is that your energy goes to shit. Your energy goes to shit. Your sleep's going to go to shit.
Yeah.
Your mental brain power is going to go to shit. So you're going to very quickly start hating life. When you get emotional and get like that, also too, I find that women that when they're on such low calories, around their menstrual cycle time, their PMS symptoms are through the roof.
Yeah.
They're really irritable. Maybe they're going to have a really bad period. So life gets really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you can drop a couple of kilos really quickly. The trade-off is not worth it.
No.
And you hit that 1,200 calories and maybe you're sticking to it. Maybe you're one of the few people that can stick to it for more than 4 weeks. Because most people I know that will do it will bail out pretty quickly.
There are outliers to this situation, of course.
So maybe you do stick to it and you do drop a couple of kilos.
Yep.
But what's next?
Yeah.
And that's the bit that I think people seem to miss and seem to not realize or think about, because you cannot live on 1,200 calories forever. And so you do 4 weeks and you've lost 2 kilos. You maybe do eight weeks and you've lost a few more. Maybe you push to 10. Maybe you are insane and you push to 12 weeks and you've lost 10 kilos. Then what? And your body is going to be screaming at you by that stage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Low energy availability is common occurrence when you sit in a significant deficit for a long period of time. So your body is used to 1,200 calories. Your body is adapted to 1,200 calories. That is the energy you're giving it. That is the energy you have to disperse amongst all the systems that you have to energize. And if you then return back to your normal habits, well, guess what? You're going to put on weight very, very quickly.
And even someone that might be like, okay, I'm going to do 1,200 calories. They do that. They stick to it for a few weeks and then they plateau. So no longer is the 1,200 calories working because your body has adapted. Maybe before you started it, you were so inconsistent with your food. So 1,200 calories maybe wasn't too drastic of a deficit. So your body's plateaued quite quickly.
Yep.
Then what do you do? Because if you've just picked 1,200 calories out of thin air without any real coaching or understanding or anything, what do you do next?
Yeah.
You've done 1,200 calories for 4 weeks and you've lost 2 kilos and your body's plateaued.
You've created a baseline.
You've created a new baseline for yourself.
That's right.
So you're going to either need to reverse yourself out of that,
Yep.
which most people who are not being coached won't do that.
No, well, they don't know how to do that.
They don't know how to do that.
What does that mean?
So that's then where the struggle lies, because it's like, what's the next step?
Exactly. I think from a broad perspective, a female, particularly in those stages of perimenopausal and menopause, I know we're kind of pigeonholing this discussion, should be on a lot more than 1,200 calories.
Correct.
Because that whole process, the hormonal, I don't even know the term, roller coaster ride that you're going to go through, needs to be energized.
Correct.
You need to have energy to actually sustain that. And if you've got more energy in your system, within reason, your experience will be a lot more kinder to you than, like you just explained, someone who's on 1,200 calories, heavy periods, a heavy emotional turmoil, ups and downs with PMS, sleep's erratic, stress is all over the shop, you've got sugar cravings, all these things, simply because of the fuel you're putting in your body or the lack thereof.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a fascinating thing. And I mean, like I said, we're not trying to pigeonhole this just to those going through menopause, but
it's that age bracket. So
it is.
Like, I predominantly work with women 35 to 55, and I'd be naive to say that perimenopause or menopause didn't need to be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because those early symptoms, you don't just suddenly wake up one day and your first symptoms are hot flush. Like, there's 5 pages, A4 pages of symptoms in perimenopause.
Yeah.
So it starts early. So we need to be across this, and it's going to be an awful experience for you. And unfortunately, a lot of people do find that this is the double-edged sword though, because people find that during perimenopause, they typically start to store body fat differently. And what I get told all the time is what used to work no longer works. And the funny thing is, for a lot of these people, what used to work was move more, eat less. So it was a 1,200 calorie diet with so many steps or so many cardio hours, so much group lots of exercise. It used to work, and it no longer works because our bodies are not the same.
Our bodies have changed. It's like, I often joke with clients, when I was like, say, 15 or 16, like our young fella can attest to this now. You can eat whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Your body doesn't change. You could pig out, you could eat heaps of crap. It doesn't matter because your body can burn through it because it's at a heightened state of metabolic fuel usage, for lack of a better term. But the biology that a young one is sustaining to is off the charts. Whereas fast forward 30 years, it's a completely different situation.
We are not going, we have a lot more in our life, in our day-to-day life. We have relationships, we have children, we have careers, we have so much going on. I remember being also in my 20s, and if I wanted to drop a couple of kilos, just eat salads for a couple of weeks and I was good to go.
Yeah.
And, do a couple of extra group fitness classes and happy days.
Yeah.
There's no way. I wish it was that easy now. Not a chance.
No, you got to bust your backside. And that's the thing. You've got to be prepared to do that because that's the facts. There's no shortcut, and I don't know if you want to touch on GLPs and Ozempics today, but there are no shortcuts. I'll put it out there right now. And if there is, there's a lot of negative side effects to them.
I think sometimes people just go to 1200 because it's what they know. It's all they know. And by the time someone's prepared to reach out to a coach, they're usually feeling desperate. They're usually like, you know what, I'm fucking sick of this. I hate my body. I hate this. I'm over this. I need to make a change. And that's when they're...
Well, they're cycling, right? They might do the 1,200 calories and then they'll go back to their old habits and their old lifestyle, which is fine, but then they put weight back on, if not more.
But
they dial it again.
But it's not fine because you wouldn't be trying to lose the weight that you put on.
Yeah, but they haven't learnt.
That's what I'm saying. You're saying that they go back to their old habits, which is fine, but it's not fine because what got them in the first place.
Oh, no, absolutely. What I'm saying is that's their decision to make. But like we touched on earlier, you've got to understand what the next step is. What's the diet after the diet, as Dr. Lane Norton says? What's the next step?
Yeah.
Where do you go from? You've lost your weight. It doesn't magically just stay off. Yeah. It doesn't work. The body does not work like that. I
also think by jumping straight to 1,200 calories, you're really missing a great opportunity just to learn your own body.
Yeah, 100%.
Instead of going straight to 1,200 calories, why don't you just track what you're currently doing and just see where you currently are?
Yeah.
And you may very quickly realize that, across the week, the span of the week, your weekly average is sitting at 2,500.
Yeah.
So if your weekly average is sitting at 2,500, why would you go to 12?
Yep.
You just wouldn't.
Yep.
So you can make this process much easier for yourself and much more enjoyable. Yes, it's going to get hard, but it also doesn't have to be the end of the world. It doesn't have to feel like you're dying every day.
No, that's a significant deficit. That's a fairly aggressive diet if that's how you're feeling. A standard lifestyle diet, you should only be 10 to 15% in a deficit.
Exactly.
Which is not aggressive. It's just you being smart with your food and obviously very mindful and aware of what you put in your mouth and, the odd calculation here and there. You don't have to go super aggressive. But and that's a really good point because often people underestimate their maintenance. Mm-hmm. If you're relatively active, if you're, averaging 10,000 steps a day, your job's, you're sort of up and about, you train 3-4 times a week, maybe you're running the kids around on weekends, you'd be surprised at how many calories you're actually consuming.
Absolutely.
So it's important to get a gauge on that and not just plummet to 1,200 or even less than that if that's the case, simply because that's what you believe is the correct number.
And that's a massive part of this, and that's the massive bit that's missing from the 1,200 calorie diet.
Yeah.
It does not take into consideration your age, your gender, your lifestyle, like you said, whether you're a tradie or you work behind a desk, whether you have kids, whether you don't have kids, all these things matter. Your hormonal status, so much matters. Also, your just general goals and lifestyle. What are you actually trying to achieve? Are you trying to achieve a 20 kilo loss, or are you trying to achieve a 3 or 4 kilo?
Yeah, big difference.
Big difference.
Big approach. Yeah, big approach difference. That's a good point. People don't people don't realize that. Right now, you and I, we're burning calories.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking. You're fidgeting with your fingers. I'm watching it. That is.
I'm kicking my toes.
Okay, but that's burning calories. These are inconsequential calorie expenditure movements that you're not even aware that you're doing.
Yeah.
Are you a good sleeper? Are you sleeping 6 to 8 hours solid sleep a night where you wake up feeling refreshed, or is your sleep broken and you wake up feeling dog tired? That makes a massive difference. Is your job super stressful, or is it really comfortable? Do you work at all? Maybe you're a stay-at-home mum. I don't know, but again, all factual and all things that need to be taken into consideration.
I will just slide in there because we don't want the man saying this, but stay-at-home mum, you probably do a lot more than most office
100%.
people do. So you're working, you're moving, you're doing a lot.
You're probably moving heaps. You're probably taking a lot more steps than you realise if you're not tracking them. Yeah.
And you're picking up a lot of weight, picking up a child, putting a child down, picking up a child, putting a child down. And the brain, oh my God, I saw a reel the other day, and I don't know if I shared it with you or not. It was a mum who had a couple of young kids, and she had like a clicker, like the counters.
Oh, yeah.
And she clicked every time her child said mum, and she got to over 400 by the end of the day. And she'd been out for 3.5 hours during the day.
Yeah, right.
Over 400. So your brain,
Mum.
oh my God, like your brain, you're using significant energy just to function in that space.
Yeah. But this is all relevant, right? This is all part of figuring out where your calories actually sit.
Yeah.
So that alone, you could easily sit in maintenance at 1800. And the other point to this conversation, and particularly with females, and I'm not trying to sound sexist here, so please apologise in advance, is protein.
Yeah.
A lot of females undereat on their protein. They overeat on their carbs and their fats. Therefore, there's a complete disproportion in terms of their macro balance. So they immediately dive into 1200. Undereating on protein, their protein is even more significantly low.
Yep.
And what does that lead to? Like you said at the very start, hair issues, nail issues, skin issues, hormonal issues.
Then we go deeper, we go
bone density,
go
muscle
teeth.
loss, teeth, brain. Like we can't undersell the importance of protein and eating the appropriate amount of protein more so.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you're on such a restrictive diet.
Yep.
Protein.
Iron's another one.
Protein is the biggest bang for buck in terms of your micro minerals.
Oh yeah.
And your vitamins, and that's exactly like you said, your iron. I don't remember the stat now, but the stat I heard the day was like, it was a huge percentage of women are iron deficient these days.
Yep.
It was wild, the stat. And iron deficient is one thing, but we're deficient in the minerals and the vitamins that help us to store and hold and use the iron as well.
Yep.
And that's another factor, is if we're going to a super restrictive diet, we're missing out, because we will.
Yep.
You cannot, it is impossible, hit your recommended daily intake of all your vitamins and minerals on a 1200 calorie diet. You can't.
No, you can't.
One of my university assignments was literally doing that. We had 1800 calories to play with, and we had to hit the RDI for all essential vitamins and minerals. And it was one of the freaking hardest things I've ever had to do. And so if you're on 1200 calories and you're uneducated in this space, you're not going to be doing it.
No.
So then we have other health complications that end up happening. And we can't just take a multivitamin to cover all bases. Yes, it will help, but it won't fix the problem.
No, it's not going to fix the problem. It's like trying to direct 8 lanes of highway traffic into 1 lane. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know, protein is very satiating as well. So again, if you're on 1200 calories and you're naturally under eating on protein, you're going to be more hungrier more often. Therefore, you're probably going to lean towards snacking on more carbs or more sugars or more processed food, rather than spreading your protein out throughout the day with the appropriate amount, remaining fuller for longer and sustaining the diet for longer and having more success on that diet. So you can see how it can really untangle itself if you're not aware of what you're doing from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else does Chad have to say?
Oh, that was about it. I just wanted to know where the 1200 came from.
Yeah, it is interesting. I didn't know that.
I thought it was probably more 70s or 60s, to be honest.
Yep.
Because if you look at if you go into Google and Google weight loss ads from 60s and 70s, they were horrendous.
They would have been.
They were all about women having tiny waists and thin arms to keep their husbands happy, basically.
Yeah.
You know, don't be a pig. Like the writing and the context was terrible.
Yeah, we were a lot more sensitive now, but back then there was no filter.
It was savage.
Either. Yeah, completely. And that, I guess that leads us to the other side of the coin, and that is the 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by this. I know there's some research to support it, but I've also heard research or read research that 8,000 is sufficient. But again, like, I can debunk all of that because, again, it's relevant to the person. It's not relevant to the population.
Would you like to hear where 10,000 steps
Go
came
on
from?
then. Go on. You've done it. Go on. Tell me. I'm curious.
Have a guess. Oh, yeah, have a guess.
Right, well, see, we could only track steps in the digital world, I'm guessing. We weren't able... No one's going to walk around and count their steps. That's ridiculous and completely insane. All right? And if it was, then get a life. But
digital watches have been around a long time, so
yes, they have.
Don't get too techie.
Yeah, but digital watches don't track steps. This is only, I'm talking in the age of like smart devices, surely. I know you used to be able to get pedometers. I had one. So I'm going to say probably 80s or 90s.
Bom, bom, bom.
What, earlier than that?
Need a mix of sound effects.
Sound effects, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in 1965.
Right. Okay.
A Japanese company called... Oh,
go on.
I was going to say it in a Japanese accent, and then I was like, no, that's going to sound really bad.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yamasa
Yeah.
Clock and Instrument Co.
Right.
Released one of the first commercial pedometers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They named it, I'm not going to pronounce, which literally means 10,000 steps meter.
Oh, is that right? Does that mean it maxes out at 10,000?
I'm not sure. The number wasn't the result of a major medical study. It was chosen mostly for marketing. In Japanese culture, 10,000 symbolized a large, satisfying number and sounded positive and motivational.
Right.
The logo even looked like a person walking when written in Japanese characters, which made it memorable.
Okay.
So again, we have another thing that the 10,000 steps was started simply because essentially of a marketing thing.
Yeah.
Someone released a pedometer and went 10,000 as lucky, as symbolic, as whatever. That's our number. Bang, here we go.
Wow.
And then it became the gold standard. So the figure was catchy, easy to remember, and seemed like it was challenging, but also achievable. So we ran with it. Later on, some studies in the 90s and 2000s found that people who hit around 10,000 steps had a better cardiovascular and metabolic health. But those studies often just used 10,000 as a benchmark because it was already popular.
Yep.
So it wasn't a case of let's just see different people, different things. We'll just go 10,000 because people already know 10,000.
That's right.
And then we go to modern research. But also too, I don't know if you remember, but there was a government health initiative and it was a TV commercials and all the things where you could actually get a free pedometer.
Yeah.
And it was around the same time. It was the more modern day take on Norm. What is it? Get Into Life.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember him?
Yeah.
So it was their next kind of one after him, where it was like
it was just encouraging people to 10,000.
Encouraging people just to get active. Because we were, noticing, the health department was noticing that we were starting to have some health challenges that were very closely related to lifestyle factors.
Yep.
So what is something simple and achievable for everybody? It's free. We'll give you a free pedometer. Here you go. 10,000 steps became the magic number.
Yep.
And then, like you've said, it doesn't take into consideration individual factors, and more recent research has actually come out and said, on average, Australians get about 3,000 and 3,500 steps a day.
Yeah,
that is our average number.
Pretty low, eh?
It is so low.
Yeah.
But if we think about online working in offices, we can see why that would be so low. So now the modern target is about 7 to 8, but that is only based on people who get 3.5. So basically saying, if you get 3.5, please aim for 7 or 8.
Yeah.
You need to ramp it up.
Yep.
So if you're someone that currently does get 10,000, cool, awesome. But that's your base.
Yeah.
So maybe now jump to 12.
Well, I mean, that's the point too. If you're doing 10,000 and that is your goal and you've been doing that for 6 months, you're adapted to that.
Exactly.
So the effectiveness of that 10,000 in terms of losing weight or maintaining your weight is probably a lot more minimal now. So you have to go higher.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also, it doesn't become a never-ending ceiling either. You don't want to get to a point where you're doing 30,000 steps a day.
No.
However, if you work in a hospital, you work in an emergency department, you work in a very high-paced environment, you are absolutely going to be getting a lot of steps a day.
I've got people that are doing over 20, and that's just due to their job.
Yeah.
So that's their base.
And that's their base. So then they now have the consideration of when they're not working and they're not in that environment, not allowing it to drop to 3.
Correct.
We want to keep that more consistent across all days.
That's right, yeah.
So this 10,000 and this 1,200 calorie thing, the biggest thing it misses is individual variance.
Yeah.
And that's what will make or break your success.
Yep. And that's an easy thing to figure out too. It's not hard to... figuring out your average daily step count is significantly easier than your calorie intake, your maintenance calorie intake. Significantly easier. All you've got to do is to take it over, say, a 7-day week, use your smartwatch, average it out, boom, there you go.
And if you don't have a smartwatch, use your phone.
Your phone does it as well.
Your phone does it as well. If you don't have that, buy a pedometer. They are so damn cheap now.
Oh, yeah, you just attach it to your
Jump on Amazon,
waistband.
Attach it to your little waistband. It's like your little pager from back in the 80s. Remember when everyone had the Nokia phones? They clip them onto their belt?
Yep.
Yeah, just be retro.
No, exactly. But it's not that hard. But it is It's a good target to have. Most people do like to have a target or a goal or a milestone to hit. 10,000 steps a day, because at the average, the average person will burn 0.04 of a calorie per step. 10,000, 400 calories.
Great.
Just in walking. So if you're looking to, complement your exercise and your diet with some additional activity that's low impact, because you're trying to lose a couple of kilos, it's an easy way to do it. It's not hard to go out for a walk.
And also too, people go, oh, well, how much is 10,000? Like, that seems like a big number.
No, it's not.
You can do about 1,000 steps in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Depending how fast you walk. If you walk fast, it's definitely quicker. But if you think 10 minutes is 1,000 steps,
yep.
You go for a 10-minute walk in the morning. Maybe you go for a 20-minute walk in the morning. You're at work, get up, go for a walk around the office block a couple of times.
Yep.
Like, it creeps up really, really quickly.
Yeah,
10,000's not a lot.
Yep. No, park further away.
So the whole idea with the 10,000 is just simply, or whatever step goal you have, it's simply just about moving your body more.
Yeah.
It's about being active throughout the day. So it's another thing too, is you don't want to just jump on the treadmill and knock out 10,000 steps at once. It defeats the purpose of it.
It does. If you can do it outside, do it outside. There's a lot of research now to support the fact that walking in outdoors, walking in nature, is significantly positive for mental health.
Yeah.
So rather than looking at a screen or going, I'll watch a movie while I'm on a treadmill. Yeah, I get that. If it's pissing down with rain, sure, okay, that's fine. But if the weather's okay and you've got the opportunity to walk outside, walk outside.
But even just, I was more meaning breaking it up into smaller bits.
Sure.
So like, I know with my clients, I get them to think about their steps and their cardio as two separate things.
Oh, yeah.
So steps is your movement throughout the entire day. Like, we're not going to jump on the treadie at 5 a.m. and knock out our 10,000 steps, because no, that's your cardio.
Yep.
If that's what you're doing, that's cardio.
Yep.
Your steps is your movement throughout the entire day, and you should be thinking about it from that perspective.
100%. Cool. Anything else?
I think, like, instead of this just being ranty, which, well done, you didn't get too ranty on me. If someone is listening to this and is like, okay, Paul and Moni, that's great. I can't afford coaching right now and I want to make a difference in my life. What do I do? You've told me not to do everything that I know.
Yep.
So if I was coming to you as a client, and I'll share from my side as well, what would the first steps be? And obviously I'm not giving away all trade secrets here, but as some advice for somebody who only knows 1,200 calories,
well, you know what?
Would you say?
We've kind of got a major hack at our disposal in the current times, and you've just used it before in terms of chat. If you use chat to your advantage in terms of being very specific about your current situation, your age, your weight, your job, your stress levels, like if you give them so many biomarkers and then ask them for a calorie range, it'll be pretty spot on. Be pretty accurate. So that there obviously can help. It's probably not as specific, and look, the opportunity or the advantage of working with a coach is the human factor. But working within a range is perfectly acceptable in my opinion, as long as you're going to adhere to it. That's the key. Most people's issue is adhering to anything and sticking to it long term. So you've got to come up with a system or an approach that's going to work for you. Now, what that looks like is completely up to you in terms of your lifestyle. Are you very much a numbers person, a structured person, a routine-based person? Great. Then that's how you approach it. If you're more flexible, where your weeks are ridiculously busy and you need to be super organised, but then the weekends are really relaxed, great. That's how you approach it as well. But it has to be something that you can sustain for a longer period of time for it to work. Because I've had a conversation just recently with someone that they were disappointed they hadn't lost more weight, and they'd only been with me for 3 weeks. You've got to give it time. That's the other thing too. People are not patient at the moment. We're looking for instant gratification. We're incredibly impatient when it comes to results. But if your history suggests that you have been all over the shop with different diets or different approaches or blowout weekends or trips away or lots of alcohol, whatever it is, that just shows that the what am I trying to say? The linear line of your calorie intake is incredibly inconsistent. Therefore, you've got to give your body an opportunity to create a baseline, as we said. Start there. Create a baseline first. See what works. If the body's responding positively, great. Keep it going. If it's not, maybe tinker with it a little bit. Drop it a couple of hundred calories and see how it goes. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Geez, that client that didn't lose weight in 3 weeks, lucky she wasn't my client. Well, from my perspective, if most of my clients don't track calories.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Most of my clients don't track macros. We literally just come at it from, okay, what's your food diary? What are you currently doing? What do you enjoy about that? What do you not enjoy about that? And then we make swaps from there. And we really focus on a more healthy swaps perspective. However, that being said, I still have clients that on a Saturday night are eating half a pizza and drinking red wine. That's their date night with hubby, and nothing is going to get in the way of that, even a weight loss goal.
Yep.
And that's the key thing here, is that if you're sticking on 1,200 calories, you're not having pizza and wine with hubby on Saturday night. You're eating your broccoli and crying.
You potentially, yes, or you potentially are, but then your weekday average is 1,500 calories, not 1,200 calories.
Yeah, but I think it's looking at where you are currently, establishing your baseline, and then going, okay, what do I want to do next? Do I want to be restrictive, and do I want to track calories and macros? Do I want to do that? Or can I just make some really basic, simple swaps now with what I'm currently doing? But knowing that if you do that, you're going to have to be patient.
Yes.
You need to give this time. This is about setting yourself up for your future. This is not about just a quick fix, because what happens quick is lost quick as well. So we want to make sure that this is sustainable and sticks around long term.
Yeah, 100%.
And when it comes to something like weight loss, don't put all, like, one of my clients, and this is a perfect example, by doing this and not tracking a single calorie, has lost 8 kilos in 2 months.
Yeah.
Great.
Amazing.
Another client, though, who doing the same approach, who also took up strength training and has never strength trained before and is now strength training 4 days a week. She'd only lost 4 kilos in 3 months. However, thank you, motorbike, has lost over 10 centimeters off her waist and over 15 centimeters off her thighs.
Massive.
Off her hips, sorry. So don't all put all your, is this working, is this not working,
eggs in one basket,
in just the scale weight as well.
No.
So make sure you're taking your photos and doing your measurements. But yeah, if you want to go 1,200 calories, just be prepared.
Well, do your research. I know there's plenty of sites out there that will support it, or a lot of so-called professionals that will support it, but the current research shows that it's not ideal. It is not a good situation to be in. Also
too, there's a reason why the diet industry, and you and I don't fall under diet industry, we fall under health and fitness, but the diet industry is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry.
Yep.
Now, if there was a diet that could solve all our problems, the industry would be dead by now.
Yeah,
there'd be one or two companies that would be thriving and everyone else would be gone.
Correct.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So that just goes to tell you that people are buying into diets, falling off the bandwagon, trying the next thing.
Looking for a shortcut.
So we need to stop looking at it from that perspective and looking at it from a health longevity perspective.
Absolutely. If you want to have a fulfilling, happy lifestyle and not be miserable because you're constantly in a diet, like the people that I hear it on radio, I hear it all the time. I'm on another diet. I'm on this diet. I'm dieting this week. Like, why? You don't need to do that constantly. It should be just a lifestyle change that's sufficient to meet your goals while not a lot changes around you.
Exactly. That's another point too, is making sure that if you are going to take on a dieting phase or do something, is it appropriate timing for you to do so?
Yeah.
Because that's the other factor too. Like, maybe it's not the right time for you to really knuckle down and focus on something. So instead of putting yourself in a really restrictive pattern with diet, maybe you just should make some smarter health choices. And then when the time is more appropriate later, then knuckle down. But you know what? You've already established some really great health habits first.
Yeah.
Before diving into something more
100%.
restrictive.
That's an even better suggestion. If you're not prepared to learn about calorie tracking, or you want to start tracking numbers of any description, I did a video on this ages ago. If you just walk more, tidy up your food. Everyone knows everyone knows what it is to eat cleaner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone should know that. And then you exercise more, or put an emphasis on strength training. You put those three things in play, improve your sleep, manage your stress, you're gonna have some results.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
There's no way you can't.
No, 100%. You are simply giving your body a better optimal position. So why not try that first?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's that complexity bias.
It
Just
is.
because it's more complicated, we think it's going to work.
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't need to be. It simple works.
Yeah.
It really does.
Keep it simple.
Absolutely.
Sexy bum.
All right. on that note, we'll finish up. Anything else to add, Mom?
I don't know.
No, I think we've covered everything.
Don't want to get ranty.
No, I think there's enough there. Look, if anyone's listening to this and does want more assistance, if you've got general questions, we're happy to help.
I remembered what I was going to say before, and then I went on a random tangent, and then got lost and forgot what I was going to say.
Go on. You've got an opportunity now.
A lot of people will say, I know what I need to do.
Yes.
And it was what you were referencing before about coaching. There's a reason why you and I have jobs. There's a reason why we have success with our athletes and our clients. It's not just because we have magic numbers and magic pills and magic protocols.
Yes.
It's because people need people.
Yeah.
And if sticking to a restrictive diet was that easy, people would just do it.
Yep.
So if you're that person that says, yeah, I know what I need to do, I just need to do it, why aren't you?
Yeah, why aren't you? Yeah.
Find what it is that's getting in your way, and maybe it is that you just need that support, that person to just brainstorm some things off, get some strategies around, because it's hard. It can be hard.
Of course it can be hard. We're going against the tide here a lot of the time.
Our body doesn't want to be hungry.
No.
Our body wants to be thriving, and we're putting it into a starvation, essentially, to lose weight.
There's also resistance within us about, I have to give up all these social things, or it doesn't have to be that way. No. Again, we go back to the point about just subtle changes in lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there going, yeah, I know all this,
then why aren't you doing it?
Then why aren't you doing it?
Exactly.
Okay, you can wrap it up now.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Moni. Give your Instagram page a shout out, please.
Why can't you?
Because I'll get it wrong.
You would think you'd know.
Well, I don't. I just go the @ symbol and then M, and then it comes up.
You go the @ symbol and then my name and your last name. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So it's @Monique _Hooper _ coach.
No, coach. Is there another underscore?
No.
Okay, all right.
And then if you just want to come along for the lols, it's just Monique @Monique _Hooper _
Okay.
So it's either just me or it's the coachy space.
Or the coachy space. Either way, you'll find up. Cool. And then everyone knows my page, paulsbodyengineering.com. I've just updated my bio on my website too, so please have a look. So thank you once again for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this, please screenshot it across your stories. Tag both of us. And look, if you know someone that is on a 1,200 calorie diet or is considering doing one, send it to them. There's no harm in terms of giving them a little bit more education before they actually make the decision to help, with their own health and fitness goals. So why not? So thank you once again. And as I say to every client every single day, have a great day. Experience the difference with Matt Glynn at Code Property Group. With a 20-year reputation of a clean business, Matt is your guy when it comes to all things real estate. Make sure you give him a call now on 0404 315 066.